pericardium around the human heart represents the actual twisting of light, closing hole. There's no hole. The connection between the pulse of the human heart and its input is entirely through thought. And this is Walter Russell. I found that yesterday. So Walter Russell's insights and his whole work is based on this idea that thought is the primary viscosity of light. And that's my language I've used, of Lewe. It's about viscosity. Russell says that thought slows light, and that forms a crystalline structure as compression, and that reality begins from that idea. And so Lewe is viscosity. Lewe is the master of the Reynolds number, and the JK, the twist, the right hand and left hand chirality of elastic twist joules of the material itself that's created when light slows. It creates a light fiber that goes through a motion, and when it fractures into a spiral, and that's what spiders catch to build their spider silk. That's where the strength of their material comes from. Yeah, they catch a light fiber, evidence in nature. And so this idea, this thin fiber, is crafted from the initial thought that slows the light. So the primary viscosity, can you get that idea? That why does something exist, not nothing? It's because viscosity must exist. You're thinking, yeah? I think, okay? That happens. That's an observation in nature. You think. So think properly, and you'll see that nothing else actually exists apart from that thought. And that from that thought, everything springs. And there's a wonderful way of understanding a duality and the nature of God, that it's just two perspectives. You take your perspective. In the double slit experiment, there are two observers. There's you, the scientist, represented by the technician who's carrying out the experiment. That's the observer, that's you. And then there's another observer, the higher observer, the observer of the experiment itself, the environment in which the experiment is taking place, the ocean, the observer of the ocean upon which Galileo's ship is sailing. So when you take the other perspective, you see there is just this observer, and that in fact the thought is the only thing that exists, the thought. And it's a singularity. Now, when we take the wrong perspective, when we choose to take the egotistical, materialistic, non-God existing universe, world, as the one that's real, God ceases to exist, because we can't think the thoughts that God wants us to think. Because we choose not to. We have to choose to see this, and say, what is the thought that God is everywhere we look? What is the thought that God wants us to think? The thought is love. Think about love. And from love will come honor. You must behave honorably. If you love something, somebody, no matter how badly it's behaving, you must behave with integrity, with honor. You must be able to defend yourself in court from the decisions that you made, even if you played a stupid card. As I used to say, as a manager. If I have to defend that decision, I'll play the stupid card. Oh yeah, what an idiot. Even though I knew what I was doing, I was taking a risk. And that risk is, when that risk is with your heart, you see that there's only one card to play, and it's always play the love, always play with integrity, that God is watching you. So the pericardium, the human heart, the heartbeat, is the final transform of the pulse of the universe, rotation causing the planet to pulse. The beat is really fast, it's Planck's constant, duration, real seconds, pulse, a duration expansion, and a snap back in no time at all, when time reverses within the duration of the moment, causing an imbalance at the center and causing a viscosity. And that viscosity is the viscosity of thought, as per Walter Russell. So we can now open his door. So your heart is the light that is trapped now. Because the pericardium has the proper twist in it, it's actually snapped. The sphere around the human heart has twisted so tightly that it closed the hole, and now it's forced the light to the center, and the light, it tries to expand, and that's life inside a viscous shell of your pericardium. That's the joy, the news that has been brought to you this very morning. Yeah? That's your soul, that's where you live, that's where your existence comes from. Okay? So the vagus nerve is the receiver. It's sending signals to the brain from the soul. Yeah? It's not the other way around. The heartbeat is the rotation of the universe through its final transform. It's a reverse. The ECG graph shows the pulse of the electric goes backwards in time, meeting the elastic membrane coming the other way. The wave tries to break, it can't, it does that rotation, and there's a moment to think about love. Are you ready for the future? Walter Russell, man, at last, his time has come. Welcome to the future. Follow the Rebel King.